in the year 2000, I went to Ambon Island. At that time, Ambon was divided into Christian zones and Muslim zones because they were in the middle of a very tense religious-based conflict. I got off the plane in a Christian area, picked up by Christian activists, and then got on the speedboat and crossed the Ambon Bay straight to another pier in the Muslim zone. I was picked up by a driver, of course a Muslim driver. We got into the car, he drove us until we got to a crossroad, a big crossroad but deserted. And then suddenly the driver stopped, and then he opened the door and then ran back to where we came from. I was surprised because he didn't tell us anything. And then from the other end, another man came running, got into the car, started the car, and then drove us through to the Christian zones. I was shocked, but we survived. I spent the next several days visiting camps, shelters, destroyed villages, meeting people. And that experience in the year 2000 really changed my paradigm about conflict and peace. At that time, that year, I participated in setting up an alternative education program for children in shelters and in destroyed villages, and I've been working for peace ever since. But my story is not usual. It's not unusual. You've heard so many about so many initiatives by so many women from all over the world, especially in conflict times. And sometimes even talking about peace, we simply think of peace as the end of conflicts or the absence of conflicts. Well, peace is not. It's not that. Peace is about seeding and instilling values of peaceful living comprehensively. And you've heard so many initiatives about that also. The question is, why women? Not only because the world gives a bigger space for women right now, but it turns out that because the world needs women right now. Why? Because of globalizations, we are now an interconnected world. We are overwhelmed by information. We are more diverse. We are more connected. We are more egalitarian. The culture is more dynamic and prone to conflict. And this kind of world need different values of openness, of honesty, of integrity, of synthesizing, of synergy, of relationship, of equality, of sustainability, of adaptations. And who have these kind of values? Women. As it shows in two studies that I will be quoting in the next slide. Next slide, please. This one study is by John Gerzema and Michael D'Antonio. They asked 30,000 people to categorize 200 traits into groups of masculine trait or feminine trait or neutral trait. And they asked another 30,000 people to put these traits that are related to leadership, to success, to morality, and to happiness. Before they connect these results, they ask the same audience, the 60,000 audience from 27 countries, they ask whether they think that the world would be a better place if the men start thinking like women. And 57% And more people believe that, yes, the world would be a better place if the men start thinking like women. That's the result of a very extensive survey. Next slide, please. Now, when they compare, they connected the result from the question to the 30,000 people and then another 30,000 people. You can see from the result of the finding. In leadership, feminine attributes are more strongly related to leadership. In morality and in happiness is also like that. So feminine attributes are considered strongly related to leadership, morality, and happiness. And even characteristics like aggression, pride, black and white thinking, competitiveness are considered not appropriate now in leadership. You can see that's the lower part of that graphs. But plans for the future, it's about sustainability, expressive, reasonable, loyal, patient, intuitive, selfless. Those are the qualities that people look for leadership. That's one research. Next. Hofstede is a social psychologist. He said that masculinity and femininity is actually a dimension of culture. So this is not about personality only, but also reflect in society. Masculinity dimension focuses on the extent to which a society stresses achievement or nurture. In masculine society, in a high masculine society, the social norm is more on ego orientation. Achievement, money, possessions, they're all important. But for the low masculine society, the feminine society, the social norms revolves around relationship orientation, and quality of life and quality of people are more important than possessions. In politics and economics, high masculine society, they put high priority on economic growth, while in the feminine society, they put sustainable development, environmentally, especially as more focused. In high masculine society, conflict is solved through force. And in low masculine society, conflict solved through negotiation. In work sector, high masculine society tends to have larger gender wage gap, and they prefer higher pay. It correlates with the achievement orientation. But for the low masculine society, because the backbone is the value of justice, then the wage gap between gender are smaller and preference are for fewer working hours. Those are the qualities, the feminine qualities of society that is right now more needed by the world. As we can see that poverty is still a problem, inequality, gap within nation, between nation are so high in this world. Indonesia right now at the highest of the Gini coefficient that shows that the income level of the highest society, the highest income society, and the lowest level of society, the poorest, this has become higher in Indonesia. We only need like 0.06 point to get into the level of social conflict that usually followed gap of economic welfare, Indonesia. That's because we lack of feminine qualities. This is not to say that women are more important or men should step aside. That's not to say that. The researches show that feminine qualities are needed in the world right now. And also masculine qualities. But let's be fair. When we look at the women leaders, we saw those two qualities. But when we look at the majority of male leaders, we usually saw only masculine qualities, and they don't appreciate much feminine qualities. At the personal level, 4 years ago, I started the Goztorian network after my father passed away, from scratch. There was nothing at that time. I started the Goztorian network in 2000, at the end of 2010, and now we have thousands of activists involved. We have more than 100 local communities as affiliates. We work together to promote peace, to seed peace and to reap solidarity, peace in society. We have so many activities, we have so many programs, we employed many kinds of strategies to promote peace, from internet-based campaign to economic empowerment to the local people, to the small vendors, because we believe that peace started as a value. We cannot have a peaceful society if the value of the people is still about conflict, is still about winning, but not about collaborating. So we work with teenagers, we have youth camps, we have discussions, we have so many things going, but what I'm proud of is that these initiatives, last year we have 22 cities involved in World Peace Day, and then 37 cities involved in International Day of Tolerance, without I'm giving away money, not a single cent. My work was only, getting them together, listening to them, trying to assist the best I can, the best we can. They have dreams, they have beliefs, they have values, and all we need is to help them, to support them, to start their own initiatives.